Dr. Deacon. I'm a normal farmer that grew up in a small town, Kroonstad. I'd been at the agricultural school there and always had a passion for wildlife and conservation. And then I went to go study that I never realized in my life that I'll get a degree or thought it's possible for me to get a degree. But then I got hooked on certain aspects of the reality of conservation and wildlife and management. And I did a zoology degree. I continued after that with honours in wildlife management, in rangeland science, and then did all the steps, continued with a master's and a PhD. And in all those steps, research was the main priority, to understand animals or systems or ecosystems or habitat better. And that led me to this point where I'm based at the University of the Free State to lecture and teach in rangeland and wildlife ecology. But before that I worked a couple of years for Sand Parks, and I was based in the Galagadi, and that was the best time of my life, just sleeping in the dunes and enjoy every moment under the stars. What we did today as a research group from the university is quite a broad approach with interdisciplinary, each one's got his own different goals, objectives, aims. We were a team of 12 people. In general, we're close to 20 people that are involved with the research going on at Rockwood. And the opportunity that arises for us is enormous, to bring all these different researchers together and combine all this and integrate this information. And the real understanding of if you understand the animal better, if you know how to take care of it, or what's the basic needs of the animal, it's easier to take care of it or preserve it or conserve it.
My project is to study the influences of dehorning rhinos on their behavior. So in terms of, do they move to more higher ground now to sort of get a vantage point to see what's going on around in the environment. Also, do they move to more open ground as opposed to dense bush so that they can see more of their surroundings? And also, do they tend to form bigger groups now that their horns have been cut off, because they feel sort of self-conscious without their weapon?
Not all classrooms are between four walls. The best classroom is to take someone outside, out of their comfort zone, get them involved and make them realize you're busy with something important. If you're not part of that process of what we did today, to collect all those samples, and if you're not part of that, I don't see how you can create that stimulus just by watching Nat Geo or television or discovery programs or documentaries. The best approach I think you could have is to get people actively involved. You need that Texan coming from the United States. The next time we do a rhino capture or a giraffe translocation, he needs to be with us. You need investors, but not just money. You need people that give time or that interest or that stimulus for the next generation. And if you get that Texan family to come and help with a rhino capture, or a European family, or it could be from anywhere in the world, if you've had them once here being involved with what we did this morning, you've got them hooked, and they're going to spread the news and the story, and that's what you want. That's the positive stuff we want to put out there. The approach Rockwood has, and putting that experience out there for someone to come and touch the wildlife and help and assist with daily routine procedures, in management procedures. Doesn't matter if it's a rhino or a buffalo or giraffe or any of the other wildlife species. The more you can attract people that can come and assist, volunteers and families and NGOs, people that can be boots on the ground, hands-on, become part of it. That's where we're going to make a difference. If you look at the footage from what we've did this morning, half those students have never touched a rhino, and they've been sitting somewhere in the younger age and probably dreamt of maybe getting involved. And there's a lot of young people in the world that really has a heart for conservation. If we can get some of those people here, students or young scientists or even professionals that can come and help us or assist or just take part in collecting samples, there's a place for all of them. We can make good use of all of them.
Ek is Corlia Steyn, ek kom van Douglas af. Ek studeer tans by Universiteit van die Vrystaat. Ek is besig met my finale jaar wat my neers insluit. Ek studeer wildproduksie vir die Landboufakulteit van die Universiteit van die Vrystaat. En ja, ek nou my neers doen op renosters. Ek het 'n baie groot liefde daarvoor, so as wat ek kan doen met renosters wil ek graag doen. Dis 'n baie interessante stelsel wat hulle hierso het met die renosters. Dis 'n baie goeie beheer wat jy oor die renosters het. Met die boumas wat hulle het, die 3 kampe wat die renosters elke aand inkom, hekke toegemaak word en hulle dopgehou word deur die aand en opgepas word. Dit is maar net meer beheer wat jy oor renosters het, is wat ek verstaan, is wat jy in die veld los en elke dag moet jy hulle weer gaan soek. Soos 'n baie beter beheer met die stropery van renosters wat nou tans besig is.
Volgens nou poaching, weet die mense wat poach, nee, is die mense wat liefde het vir diere, iets soos daai nie van, als wat hy nog net sien is, like soos een gauw geld maak en so, en hy het niks, ek meen, soos ek nou verstaan, ek het al 'n boek gelees, hulle het ons diere, soos een rhino spesie gaat uitsterven, maar hulle dink jy aan dit, soos een, ek meen dis part van sy gesig. Ek weet, as iemand vir jou gesig kan chop, dan hoe gaan jy nou lyk nou, verstaan jy, so, dis seer om so'n groot dier te sien, soos die, nog safra of iets soos die, so, actually, as mense net kan kom op hulle senses en sê, en mooi kan dink om te sê, iets so groot soos die, is baie hartseer, verstaan jy, so, wil jy eintlik so match oor hy, diepe na en laie goeder te gaan, van, actually, mense buite mense, as hulle nog mooi sit en diep in die rhino besigheid kyk, nou gaan jy sien, actually die werk wat hierdie man doen, die werk wat Rockwood hierso is, hierso, sien net soos een Rockwood die wat actually hierso leer ons meer en ons wil nog steeds meer leer met die jare wat kom en die wat wil weet kan maar kom, maar hulle kan gesels oor rhino en daar goed so ver aan. Ek kan lyk as iemand my kan vra soos wat nie ken oor rhino nie, wat gaat aan en wat, hoe en wat, gaan nou baie meer sê die wat ek nou ondervinding hier gekry het hierso. Ja, dis die nou wat, die wat wil hoor en kom kyk, hulle is meer as welkom by Rockwood so hierso. Ons jaag jy weg hier, ons bring dit in.
What you saw today in the field that's what we do. We're getting dirty, we're active in the field. It's the students, it's the lecturers, it's the scientists, the game rangers, it's the farm manager, it's the film crew. Everyone is part of it. It's there, and if you're not there, you miss half of it. You need to be there. You need to go through that emotion of that cow going to that calf lying, still waking up. I mean, that is an emotional moment. If you look at it, that's why we're here. If you look at that scene and you realize, yes, that's it. Now I can go home. That was the perfect moment. That's what I live for, is to experience that moment. Man, if you can get that Tannie from Europe that can see that or experience that, you would hook her for life and she would change the world for you. And this is the place to do it. This is the invitation to get these people, scientists and everyone, to get involved. And touching that rhino, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have touched the rhino before, but it's amazing. It's just very few people in the world has experienced that. So and Rockwood is putting that opportunity for anyone to get involved and want to be involved. This is the place to be. This is the place to come and experience that. If you're a volunteer or a scientist or a young professional, come help us. We need you. you probably bring something to the table we've never thought of or never had that angle to approach. And if we don't make a difference, who's going to do it? If I'm a young guy, you're a young guy, there's plenty of people that are probably going to see a lot of what you're trying to capture. And if we can't stimulate that curiosity amongst young people and the students that are with us here, that each one's got a sign, even if they collect ticks or milk or body temperature or body measurements or hoof clips, if you don't stimulate that interest in the student, who's going to take over? Who's going to help build that legacy? And what Vickers and Rockwood is doing is building a legacy to save what's left.